first tip I want to show you that I'm really sure that less of the viewers actually knows, and please write in a comment if I'm wrong, is that when you are moving a file, except for example from a folder to a folder, 99 or maybe 98% of the people would left click on the file, drag it over to the folder, and you would move it, right? So you're moving it by dragging with the left mouse button. But did you know that you don't have to move it with the left button? If you right click and drag it over and drop the button, you get up a menu, and this menu asks you if you want to copy, move, or create a shortcut instead. So maybe I just want to copy the file because I want to have the original there and copy it, then I could have both of them. So by using the right, I'm not sure what's right or left when I have the camera here, but using the right mouse button and dragging gives up the menu. Instead of left mouse button, that would mean that you actually move. Oh, the file was there from before. Actually means that you move the file instead. Tip number 2 is within Word. And this one I use quite often, and I use it without thinking because it's already a part of my muscle memory. And that is often the problem doing something differently on a computer, is that you have a muscle memory that just forces you to do the things you did before. So sometimes you need to just off-learn it, just stop doing it and to start thinking there is another way. And this is one of them, because to explain it easily, if you click once, it is between lines. So you could be like, if you click once, you're being really thorough, really like doing it perfectly just as you want. But if you click twice, have you ever noticed that then it marks the whole word? Instead of marking between the letters, double-clicking 2 times quickly on the left mouse button marks the word. So if I want to change just one word, it's easier than drag it over and then delete it, or going with backspace. That being said, if you triple-click, you mark the whole area, like all of the words. And the same applies when I'm dragging. So now you can see that it's taking letters by letter by letter when I'm dragging, clicking once. If I double click, it marks the word instead of the letters. And again, if I triple click, it marks the whole paragraph. So 1 click, detail, 2 click, words, and triple click, everything. Saves me for a lot of time. Tip number 3 is when you're standing in, for instance, in this case, Google Chrome. Just going to make it bigger here so it gets easier to see. So you are within Google Chrome and suddenly you want to open a new tab. Well, first of all, there's a shortcut there. So if you press Ctrl T, it actually opens a new tab, and Ctrl V, it closes the tab. But imagine one of these two things happens. Instead of clicking on the plus symbol, I accidentally click on the X and it goes away. Really, really, really annoying, right? Did you know that you could right click and then choose reopen close tab and get the tab back? So you don't have to like maneuver through Internet of Things to actually find that specific tab again. Just right click it up here and then reopen use tab. Also, you should also learn the shortcut for closing tab, as I said, is Ctrl W, so I could close tabs. Sometimes I do that quite quickly, and I end up with maybe closing a tab that I don't wanna, so meaning I could right click and reopen close tab, or you could see there's a shortcut there, Ctrl Shift D, no, sorry, Ctrl Shift T. It is an amazingly strong shortcut, Ctrl and Shift and T, and it reopens the tab that you have closed. A bonus tip when you are within, for instance, YouTube, is that instead of sending the whole video to someone and maybe you want them to look at one specific, like let's say 440, this is where the information from the receiver is interesting. Instead of sending the whole link and force them to see the first 440, you could just click share and you could see that you could create start at 4:40, and I would then copy that specific link, and you see if I paste the link in here, the video is going to start at 4:40, so the receiver doesn't have to watch everything. He's just going to watch from where you want him to do so. Saves at least your receiver some time, and I guess he would be happy by that. Tip number 4, I think that's really more of a fun one, but I do have some fun with it with my students and sometimes my colleagues. When you're standing in Google Chrome, you have the possibility to inspect a site, and it makes you look like the most awesome hacker at work. Believe me, it's true. So what you want to do, if you go into whatever web page, could be Facebook or whatnot, if you right click anywhere on the text, you see in the bottom it says inspect. You click inspect and it gives you all of this strange elements code, and you think like, oh my god, what is this? This looks awesome. This is everything that is within the page that we are viewing. But if you look up here, you see console, and in console we're going to do something really, really fun, because you see in the bottom here, it's still loading things on the page, but I can start writing document dot design big M mode and space equals on and paragraph ending. Just gonna move myself here. If I now click enter, you see that it says on, and on means that I could actually need to do it again. Document dot design mode equals on. Now it's on. Yes. And as you can see now, I could click wherever I want and just, like in Word, change the text. So I could say here, for instance, Manchester United transfer news. Casemiro is bringing attacker with him for exchange for Ronaldo. Benzema to Manchester. And I could then go in here, get the latest transfer news. And then I could go down and I could rewrite the whole article if I want to do so. And I do this for several reasons with the kids, but I'll take away this annoying loading page there. One of them is that sometimes we are working with newspapers and we do want to write our own newspapers and gonna have the headline and the byline and the text beneath, right? So that is one purpose, and sometimes I just have fun with it. But if you think that you have actually hacked manchestereveningnews.co.uk, you haven't, of course. You haven't done anything, because as soon as you click update, the page refreshes and everything goes back to normal. So you haven't really hacked something, it just looks like it. So this one you could have so much fun with. So that was 4, or actually 5, small quick tips that I use literally every day and have some fun with it, and also makes me, well, master my computer a bit more. Some of them requires muscle memory, so it's just to do so a couple of times and you will remember them. Please remember to do some comments, and please share this video, and by all means click the like button.